It was rumored that we're going to get that ETF today. We're going to get that approval today. So we'll just have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. If you start noticing Bitcoin pump up to the moon, then you know that it happened. And this was what came out yesterday. That a senior crypto reporter from TechCrunch said that multiple firms, maybe not all, but originally it was like every single one. We had like 13 applicants, right? But now it seems like it's just multiple. And yesterday, last night, I covered how a lot of these firms already got approval from the exchanges, like the New York Stock Exchange, and NASDAQ, and CBOE, and so forth. So again, you put everything together, they already got approval to be listed. Now you just have to wait for the SEC, right, for their announcement, and that could be as soon as today. We've always said January 10th was a big deadline, and so many people that are supposedly on the inside or getting inside information are saying that it's going to get done. It's going to get done. So who are those firms that will probably be the first few that gets approval? You got Grayscale, you got Bitwise, Fidelity, Valkyrie, Van Eyck, and this one didn't even list BlackRock, but I'm sure BlackRock is in the midst of this, right? There's no doubt. BlackRock's going to get what they want. If they want it, it's going to happen. So yeah, so today's a big day. We just started. I don't know when this will get done, but if today we get the very first spot ETF in the US, it's going to change Bitcoin forever. It really will. We've never had this kind of institutional interest ever in Bitcoin. Not to say that Bitcoin really needs it. Remember, Bitcoin went as high as 69,000 even without the big boys coming in. Now we will get liquidity that has never entered the space before, that never paid attention to Bitcoin or never had the ability to come into Bitcoin. And I've been talking about this for a long time. I mean, we're talking about billions to start with and eventually ending in trillions that'll flow into the space because of this. Keep in mind, the entire crypto market cap, including Bitcoin, is only at 1.66 trillion. So when I talk about trillions coming in, it's a multiplier effect. It's going to drive Bitcoin up to insane levels that we have never ever seen before. And not only that, for every single crypto there is, money, boatloads of money will be flowing into every single one, driving them way higher. Again, higher than I think any of us can anticipate. Like right now, I just say, well, things could go back to all-time high and break it. Well, you know what? After it hits all-time high, how much more multiples can they go up? 5x, 10x, 100x? Right after spot ETF gets approved, we know it's a matter of when, not if. But here's the thing, right afterwards, we're likely going to get Ethereum spot ETFs too. Because applications have already been filed from multiple of these firms, these applicants. They already filed spot ETFs too for Ethereum. So after this whole Bitcoin thing, maybe we get some Ethereum hype too. Ethereum has been very, very, very quiet recently, but that can change. Ethereum still leads the way with TVL. It's still exploding with the number of ETH staked. You still have an enormous amount of ETH being burned. And if they get spot ETFs too, I mean, watch out. Things will change. Things will change in a big way for Ethereum. So that is also right around the corner, right? So, man, 2024 is going to be, not going to be. We're ready in 2024. 2024 is here and it's amazing. But besides all the ETF stuff, what about just some fundamentals? Well, this is the biggest one. Balance on exchanges, the percent keeps going down. Just down, down, down. And periodically, you see big dips down. What drives Bitcoin or any of these cryptos price upwards, demand has to go up, supply has to go down. And that's what we're seeing. Bitcoin's supply keeps going down with every halving event. That's also coming this year within a couple of months. It cuts the inflation in half. For the first time in history, Bitcoin will be less inflationary than gold. And it's better than gold because it has a set supply. You can't infinitely mine it like gold. You can't find gold. You can't find Bitcoin in space like you can with gold. So, and we know because of all that's happening right now and what's going to happen in the future, demand keeps going up like this and supply keeps going down. So what do you think is going to happen to the price? Why do you think Michael Saylor is so bullish? Why do you think he holds billions and billions of Bitcoin? Because he knows the end game. He could see it. The end game is there's just not enough Bitcoin to go around, not enough sats to go around. And the name of the game is to accumulate as much as possible right now before that happens. Because once the whole world embraces Bitcoin, it's too late then. Bitcoin will be at 1 million, 2 million, 5 million each. And that's why there's so many whales right now loading up. Look at this. Some guy, could be BlackRock, could be Larry Fink, could be Michael Saylor himself, who knows. Just bought $300 million worth of Bitcoin today. Okay, 300 million, 2250 each transaction. Interesting. Again, this goes to show you there are just a lot of whales, insiders that also know what I've been saying for so long, and they're loading up. You know, a lot of these kind of purchases you'll never see. People only find them because they're like stalking the wallet addresses of the exchanges and so forth, and you have sites that looks at all these wallet addresses that gets inflows a massive amount of Bitcoin, but a lot of these are hidden. People just don't know. I mean, I think the supply is way lower than people know, even though supposedly there's like 19.5 million Bitcoin out there because there's been that much that's been mined, but there's way less floating around. Vast majority of that is being held. Now, here's also something interesting. The Coinbase Premium. Now, those of you guys that have been around for a while know that during bull runs, Coinbase Premium is a real thing. You'll notice that Bitcoin on Coinbase is higher priced than everywhere else. And that's because Coinbase is the biggest exchange for fiat, and it's one of the biggest in the US, one of the biggest in the world. So when people FOMO, what do? They generally FOMO into Coinbase. A lot of times their servers crash, you can't do anything, and it's really hard to get in. But there are times also where you notice, well, hey, Bitcoin's at 50,000, I don't know, on Binance or Robinhood, and then you see Bitcoin go for 55,000 on Coinbase. That has happened before. We have seen where Coinbase Premium is so high. I think it's because they ran out. They literally started running out of Bitcoin. And that's why their premium just went up through the roof. And not just with Bitcoin, for all these other coins too. So right now you're seeing Coinbase Premium go upwards. That means that demand is starting to go up, up, up. And, in this bull run, we could see it again. We could see that premium skyrocket. It's not that it's a good thing for retail investors. Like if you're trying to FOMO into Bitcoin, and you have to pay 10% above, that's not a good thing. But we have seen that before many, many, many times during these parabolic runs. So be prepared for that. But Coinbase Premium is going up right now, barely, but it does tell you that demand is going up, maybe because everyone's trying to load up right now before spot ETFs, but it does happen.